Hey guys, I'm going to do a fight study of an amateur boxing fight. Important to look at the amateurs, important to look at guys who are successful pros and how they looked as amateur boxers. Too often, myself included, when I boxed, you look at the pros, you watch them in their 12-round championship fights, etc., etc., etc. It's not the same. It's not the same thing. So let's watch a modern guy who is really showing himself to be versatile, to be a puncher, to be a boxer. Gervonta Davis. Let's watch him as an amateur. This is thanks to DC Amateur Boxing Channel. This is Gervonta about over 10 years ago. All right, let's look at where he's at. Let's look at what he's doing. Let's look at the foundation that he has built up now as an amateur at this point that allowed him to be successful as a pro. Because if you don't have that amateur pedigree, that amateur experience, that amateur time in the ring, working on these basic things that we all need to be focused on. If you are a boxer getting ready for your first fight, you maybe have 10 fights, or you maybe have a lot of amateur fights, or maybe a few pro fights. Always good to go back to the ABCs to look at the foundations, all right? Not just the big bam, power punch, knockout type thing, all right? So anyway, let's jump into it. I know the referee here, and Kavina Franklin, and she's a good referee. There was a fight. She refed a lot of my guys' fights, and there's one time where we got to stand an 8 count while we were waiting in the neutral corner. Once we gave someone else a stand an 8 count, interesting situation, but no hard feelings. We'll watch a good fight here, good amateur fight. All right. Red is from San Antonio, Texas, I think. And, of course, Gervonta from Baltimore. All right. So the guy's about maybe 17 years old here. 16 maybe. All right. So, see, Gervonta starts putting out the jab. Not a lot of commitment. He's sitting. Because with this fight, it looks as if he knew the guy. I don't know if he knew the guy or not. And a lot of times, amateurs, you don't know the guy. Sometimes you do. Looks like he's being calculated here. See, little head feint, slip, things like that. Bounce, putting out a jab. Range. Now watch it, Red, shoot some shots to be completely out of range because of Gervonta's management of range. See that? He expected Gervonta to come in. Gervonta's not going to give that to him. Gervonta's going to bounce in and out a little bit because it looks like the reach is fairly close. Even though Gervonta's a little bit shorter, Gervonta has long arms, all right? And again, of course, it's so important to being a pro fighter to know, or rather a good fighter, amateur or pro, to know your range. All right? Putting out that jab. He's not looking to land a jab. The jab's a distractor right now. Okay, it's simply keeping the guy occupied, letting him think about something. Because remember, if he has nothing to think about, he's not going to be very successful. Or rather, he's going to be successful. He's going to set up a game plan. If you give him something to think about, he's going to be occupied. Now, Kavina, generally rightfully so, there's not a lot of action going on. All right, so she says, let's get some action going, all right, because he can't just do nothing the whole time. And Gervonta goes right for that jab for the body. You see the body is open on Red. The body is open on Red. Red keeps his elbows up. Of course, you could say Gervonta keeps his hands down, but he keeps his feet mobile, which is what makes a difference. This is beautiful right here. Bam, boom. All right? There's a position there where Gervonta ends up from a slip on the outside of the arm. Right there. Boom, boom. Okay, he works. He works. So important when you're in those positions to work. You must work when you get wrapped up in awkward positions or any position. We saw this last weekend with Kambosos with Haney. He would not work in when he was being clinched or being held. And that is partially what cost him the fight. Obviously, Haney is a superb boxer, and that's probably was the thing as well. But here we go again, working off of being held. Gervonta's wrapped around the head, and he works. Very important. You must do this as a novice fighter, as an open division fighter, and as a pro. You're wrapped up, be working. Do not be complacent in those holds. And you also need to train working out of holds. A lot of guys train holding, but you also got to train how to not be held. One thing beautiful to watch for with Gervonta is the very small steps, all right? There we go. Again, working on the inside, working when he's being held. Watch Gervonta for the small steps coming in and coming out. He's not leaping. The reason why is because he's being calculated. He's having a good base, all right? When we want to leap in, those are in unique circumstances. And when we want to leap out, that is when you want to get out of dodge because you got what you want and you want to get the heck out of there. But what Gervonta's looking for a lot of times is going back a little bit to catch his man running into a shot. You'll see he gets that kind of set up a little bit later on in this amateur fight. Nice little jab in and a little step out. Good little short. Ooh, look at that. He has short two and an uppercut. Watch it, watch it. Very beautiful. Okay, slips his head off. Shoot a shot there. Now he comes over the shot. Boom. Now he comes under. Boom. Beautiful, right? And the arm is just wrapped around him naturally. Kavina thought he pumped his shoulder into it, but Gervonta's not arguing. Very important part, guys. No matter who the referee is, no matter if you think their call was good or not good, don't argue with the referee. The referee is God in the ring, all right? You want to argue with the referee? Way to have the only other person in that ring against you. Just accept it and modify what you're doing. It's not going to do you any good to argue. I've never seen an argument with the referee win somebody the fight when you're a fighter, all right? Jab. Beautiful. See, keeping the guy busy. Other guy's not doing enough. He's waiting a little bit. He's not putting enough things to occupy Gervonta. All right, it was a beautiful step back by Gervonta and a shot. Now, see, Gervonta's coach doesn't want him backing up, thinks he can come forward. And this is Gervonta's making his decision to do this beautiful little step back and a shoot and spin off. That's beautiful. He shoots the shot. Steps back a little bit here. Little step back to set that up. He stepped out. Boom. All right. Now, steps out again, pulls out, and then moves his head so it's not in that same place. Boom. Spins off. Beautiful. Kavina gives Red a warning about hitting on the break. It was a little borderline. Gervonta's being calculated. And of course, like Gervonta's coach knows, oh, beautiful 1-2. He brought his head off line with that. 1-2-3. Basic stuff. Brought his head off line with that kind of overhand too. But beautiful basic stuff. It's important to remember the basics is what's going to win you fights. All right, look at this nice flurry. He steps out. He throws that flurry. He ends with the straight left, the 2. His 2 at the end. Kavina saw a little bit of a slap on one of those hooks, maybe, but it doesn't matter. He landed that beautiful 2 at the end as well, so that definitely scored it for him. Remember, the straight punches are going to be easier to score in amateurs than the hooks are. Nice. See, Gervonta's popping that jab. Got the double lead hook. Boom. 1-2 brought the head offline. 1-2-3. The elbows were up. Now he stabs the body. Oh, maybe he does it a little bit later. But you notice, Red there. Watch. Okay, here's Kavina talking about up high. Now watch, see, Red got those elbows coming up. See that high guard? That high guard? Yep. That's why Gervonta's going for that body. 2. And watch, 1-2-3. All those elbows were up. Right? Good time to go downstairs. Gervonta does it a little bit later. Good inside shot. See, Gervonta wants to shut him down right there. That's okay. Red walks him back. See, Gervonta's actually tying up Red and frustrating him, but he's doing a good job of not making it obvious. All right? And, of course, Red is getting frustrated. He's not getting an opportunity to fight when he wants to fight. That leads to frustration. You have to be relaxed the whole time. Relaxed and aggressive. It's a hard combination. All right? Time on that round. All right. Here they are going at it for round 3. But see, Gervonta, the game of inches. Steps back a little bit. Oh, look at that beautiful. One thing to note there. He goes back, he goes back, he goes back. Back touches the rope, he bounces off the rope. So, yep. Ooh, beautiful. Yep, stepping back. Boom. Shoots that shot. Back touches the rope. Boom. Spins off the rope. Back, nice. 1-2 brought his head offline. Inching back. See that little inch back? Good. Went for the body. Boom, boom. Slip. After the hook, he comes back with the straight. Good thing to talk about. Basics. After the hook, he comes back with the straight. You don't just throw a hook and stop. Come back with a straight. Watch. Boom. Boom, bam. Right? The 2 is what scored the most clean in that sequence. Nice. Got that 2 again. Bouncing. Changing direction. Oh, nice footwork, right? If Gervonta was just a dead leg puncher, look at that little creep off. Nice. Boom, boom. Spun. Now, again, it's easy to be Monday morning quarterback, but in those situations, going back a little too far here, in those situations where he cuts that nice angle under his opponent's hook. So watch. Boom. Weaves under. He ends up here. All right? You're not going to get the 2. All right? His left shot there, since he's southpaw. See? Back of the head. All right? You see his other arm. His left arm, or his right arm rather, is tied up there or wrapped up around his body. The opponent's body needs to pull that arm out, and I would say he needs to throw with it. Finally got it out there. Kavina, correctly so, tells him about back of the head. Boom. Oh, that's beautiful, right? Beautiful clean 2. Spin with a 3. All right? So he's caught red a couple times. Kavina's giving him a standing A count. Remember, it doesn't lose him the round. All right? Those punches count just the same. There's nothing different. It's simply checking. Ooh, nice 1-2. Brought his head offline. Important thing to watch for there. You notice Gervonta's not arguing with the referee or anything, but watch. 1-2. Head offline. That is how the man got away from the other man's 2. All right? And notice Gervonta comes right back because right now Red is frustrated. Red is frustrated. 1, and then Red's going to come with his 2. No, not going to give it to you. He's not going to give you that 2. He's going to bring his head offline with it. And whips that 3. I thought that was a good 3. But see, Gervonta's not arguing with it. You don't want to argue with the referee. Doesn't matter. It's a good example of this. All right? You got to stay focused. Stay on point. Nice spin off. Slip on that rear side, you spin off afterwards. See, little steps back, boom. Little steps back, shoot, move your head. Little step back, shoot, step out enough to not get hit by the next shot. 1, 2, 3 up top, body. That was the example of it. Remember, we saw that sequence in the earlier round. Same exact sequence. Here we get to see this beautifulness again. Boom, shoot the shot, weave under. Boom, step out. Beautiful. Now, 1, 2, 3. Elbows are up. Body. Stab the body, stepped out. Boom, 2. Beautiful, walking off. Very sweet, very sweet. See, you're seeing the versatility that sometimes you didn't necessarily see him do in the pros, because he's built up these foundations right here, right? And see, he's actually tying Red up there, and it's frustrating the living heck out of Red, all right? Frustrating the living heck out of Red. See, Kavina's calling him holding, rightfully so. Remember, you can get points taken away when you do it excessively. Bam. Boom. Got that 2 again. Spun around. Red gets frustrated. Ha. See, it wasn't even a super hard shot by Red. That was a frustrated shot by Red. All right? And watch what Kavina does. And I understand. Not down on Kavina for this call here. You can't tolerate it. I believe she gave him a warning earlier on that. And it's a credit to what Gervonta's doing. Now, Gervonta's mouthpiece comes out here. I don't know what happens here, but anyway, he gets it back in. And it is what it is. Good note. I always like to see these fighters that when they have a good coach, they stick with that coach all the way up. So much credit to Gervonta to do that. The coach that built up his base is what he kept with him into a successful professional career now. All right, wipes his gloves. All right. So a little step back. Boom, boom. 1, 2, 3. And that's it. That's it. I know amateur fights seem super short. They seem like a lot of nothing. But let me tell you, they are something because you're building up that base. You're building up that base against different styles. Because think about it. When you go pro, if you do go pro, you don't know if you struggle against this type of fighter or that type of fighter. You have no idea. So it is so important to fight as many different styles as you can, as many different types of fighters as you can. Take every opportunity you can as an amateur because that's going to build up your base, your ability, your repertoire, and then it'll allow your management and your coach for when you do go pro to know what styles are easy for you, what styles are a little bit hard, and what styles you really struggle with, so therefore they can move you a little bit better. Because if you're going to, for instance, take a fight maybe in your early pro career and you don't maybe have Floyd Mayweather behind you, and you know that you really struggle against this certain type of fighter, you probably don't need to go to that fighter's hometown and fight him, all right? But if you know you just completely crush anybody and everybody that fights like that, you might be like, you know what? Or your coach and your manager might be, okay, you know what? Let's take this fight. Even though if it isn't the guy's hometown, we know that against fighters like that, who fight like that, who have that type of stance or throw those types of shots, we know how to exploit that, and we know how to give them not a bad time, but a horrible time and dominate them. So let's take that opportunity. All right, you take that opportunity, and it gives you a chance to rise up. Same thing on the bigger stages. You fight a former champion. You know it's a former champion, and you know their style matches up with your style really, really well. If you don't get that experience as an amateur, you will never know. All right, guys, keep studying, keep training, keep rocking.